Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon conjunct the moon in Synastry. Now, the unconscious side, one person, which is the moon, that inner personality of that person, again, the moon, and the unconscious side and inner personality of the other person could be strongly in sync and integrated. Now, I would say this would especially be true if the moon is in both moons are in the same sign. In most cases, that would be the case. In some cases, you can have an out of sign conjunction, but you would still, though the emotional needs would still be different. You would still, the unconscious side, or the unconscious could still be integrated with the other person. It could still be very intuitive aspect that could exist between the two people. Now, the thing about this is now both people may be sensitive to each other's emotional needs. And, let's say if the conjunction is in Gemini, those emotional needs could be, playing, it could be cerebral, intellectual type activities, just assimilating information in general. It could be games of wit, ones in which requires, quick, clever thinking. As some examples, variety, expressing versatility, things that require, manual dexterity, such as working, on cars or, like, say, refrigeration mechanics, as some examples, and the emotion. This could be an aspect of very strong emotional intensification. Sometimes this may not be good. Remember that conjunctions in astrology are neutral aspects. They could have good and bad qualities in them. And I can remember, I had a friend of mine that had, his moon in Gemini. We were born on the same day, and same date and year. We were just born about an hour apart, and our Gemini moons were very close together, and it would seem like we would bring out, emotional energy very strongly in both of us. And I could remember that he got, I hardly ever saw him get really, that emotional, but on one occasion I saw him become really livid, and, took his bicycle and slammed it against something. A lot of that high strung, excitable Gemini energy coming out. He's a Gemini rising as well, which played a role in that, I'm sure. But anyway, again, it is an aspect of very strong emotional intensification. And the thing about it is, this these people may frequently, have a need to do things with each other, and it can be connected with the emotional needs. If the conjunction, say, is in Aquarius, those emotional needs can be tied in with computers, electronics, astrology, astronomy, innovation, meteorology, as some examples. And this aspect too, the thing about this is, you have to remember again the fact that it is a conjunction aspect, can have good and bad qualities. Again, conjunctions are neutral aspects. Now, this is an aspect where, you could say familiarity may breed contempt at times, and, the moon is also connected with the home and family, and these people may be in each other's homes quite a bit. The families may be very, intensely involved and connected with each other, and these people, may have grown up with each other and been, very good friends or what have you. And also, too, the thing about, the Synastry aspect as well is that, they, at times, one's responses, to the other, person, may cause, some kind of emotional upsetment. And each one, of these people, may, just, intuitively, you know, understand, each other's inner personality, and they feel, you know, they want to be, the thing about this is each one of these people um, may, just instinctively know how they want to be recognized publicly. The moon is connected with the public. And the thing about this is also, one of these people may be, in some instances, the caretaker of another person's home. And the thing is, too, in a number of instances, this aspect, you talk about, moon signs can be hereditary, I believe. You know, my father had the moon in Gemini. I have my moon in Gemini. My mother had her moon in late Capricorn. Her father, depending on time of birth, had his moon in like late Capricorn or early Aquarius. My grandmother, my mother's mother, had her moon in early Aquarius. My aunt, my mother's sister, I believe, had her moon in Aquarius. So it seems like, it just, a lot of times these moon signs just seem to fall down a family tree. And they can often, you'll often see them conjunct in families. And, certain people in your family, not everyone in the family. But anyway, the thing about this is I've stated in, previous videos, as far as natal chart aspects go and placements, that never isolate any single one astrological, element, aspect, planetary placement, position, what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on that alone, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. And that would apply, with synastry aspects as well. One synastry aspect certainly doesn't make or break a relationship. In this case, it's no example. The moon conjunct the moon, could be a very, emotional, bond, and these two people might show exceptional sensitivity toward one another, but it's not, there's still, other things you have to consider, other synastry aspects. I mean, let's say, you have, the moon conjunct the moon in synastry, right, between two people, but those same two people, have, let's say, the sun is opposite Uranus, and or even the moon opposite Uranus, ascendant opposite Uranus. The Uranus person may want certain freedom and need to get away often from that person. So, you really have to look at everything in synastry, and that could modify this aspect to some degree. And the thing is, in synastry, you're generally going to have a plethora of aspects between person A and person B. And again, one synastry aspect is not going to make the connection by any means. If you have the moon conjunct the moon in synastry, but the majority of your other aspects are auspicious in synastry, then this aspect can really be very good. And not really very good, it's intensification. It can have good and bad qualities, but there still could be a closeness between these people. And the thing about this as well, synastry, aspects, you just have to look at so many different things, and it's not only just the aspects. I mean, you look at that the person, say person B's planets fall, where they fall, what houses do they fall in, person A's chart, and vice versa. And of course, many of you know of the composite chart. So it's very like natal chart, it's very intricate and complex. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.